Good morning. Today is Wednesday, January 25th, 2023. This morning I'm contemplating patience and persistence. What brought this idea to my attention, or these ideas, was my cat. Well, and actually, I can include my dog. So, I was trying to have my morning workout this morning, and my dog was insisting that he was ready for his morning walk, and I wasn't ready to take him. So he was being very, very persistent and standing right under my feet and pawing at my leg, and he just doesn't seem to take no for an answer. Or not yet. I wasn't saying no, I was saying not yet. So I did end up taking him out for a mini walk. I acquiesced to the pressure and took him just so he could take care of the immediate need and not have a medical emergency or go in the house, which very rarely he has to do. And then we came back in, and my cat is, I'm saying my cat, the cat that I live with, is wanting to do a particular thing that I'm not wanting him to do. And actually, my protesting made him want to do it even more. He likes the attention. His name is Stinker, and he is a stinker. So he just kept at it. Like, it basically ignored me and just kept doing the thing. And of course, then my arrogant ego self was like, well, I've got to stop this, So I kept trying to get him to stop and like moving him, and he liked that even more. So it just became this whole thing. My sense is, if I hadn't protested in the first place, he may have done the thing just once, and then he might have been over it. So it's easy for me to say that both of them seem to be by nature more persistent than I am in some ways. I don't want to use words like meek, but perhaps in some ways I am a mild and meek person. Perhaps more so, and with age, I'm just becoming really like laid back and going with the flow, and like if something doesn't work out with someone, it's like, oh, all right, that's okay. Oh, do something else. It's not that I don't feel that I don't care about things. In fact, the opposite is true. I think there's caring in everything. But it's more like my enthusiasm for particular subjects gets thwarted if there's any like resistance, or it's like, oh, well, I don't need to be persistent on this issue. If the others involved in whatever aren't feeling it, then I just, okay. And I'm not making a judgment of this. I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't know if it's a phase I'm going through. I don't know if it's like going to be this way with me indefinitely. I'm just objectively observing that I don't know if anyone would use the word persistent to describe me. I think they would use the word patient. Maybe in some ways I'm too patient. So there's a balance here to be struck. When there's something that you're really intending to manifest and you really feel passionate and charged about it, and it's like, I really think this is the right next step, and I really want this thing to happen, and then my sense is that we honor that and that you are patient, but also persistent. If it's something you're really passionate about, then don't give in and don't give up. I have, in the past, I can think of a couple of scenarios where maybe if I were doing that over again, I might be a little more persistent. Okay, there, I've confessed. But patience is required also, because one of the things that I've come to understand in my maturity is that the timing of things becoming manifest and of the realization of your ideas into form, into reality, is not always something you can manipulate or control, and it's not always clear, like when something may come about. And so the anxiety or the sort of negative polarized energy of impatience actually can inhibit or delay the realization or the manifestation of the thing. And boy, have I experienced the truth of this. So, well, I'll sort of give you an example. I don't want to give too specific an example, but there was a particular work environment / business model that I was really enthusiastic and excited about manifesting. And I was pushing really hard and like trying to hold up all of these plates, and like I started to feel overwhelmed. And at a certain point, I lost my vigor for it and I lost my enthusiasm. It's like, this is too much. I can't hold all this stuff up. I was becoming impatient, and also I lost sight of the idea of it because it wasn't becoming manifest quickly enough. And so I kind of threw up my hands and walked away. A few years later, after sort of deciding that my path was taking me in another direction, or at least I'm revising my path. My path is in revision. It's always in revision. But a few years later, the idea of that business model and manifestation came back to me, and it was sort of like, here you go. And so I just had to recognize that, the timing, I didn't understand at first. I was pushing too hard, trying to make it happen too quickly, taking on too much in order to, from my perspective, make it happen, force it to happen. And it was only after I chilled out, turned my attention in another direction, that it came back around. I hope that makes sense to you. Hope you understand. So today I'm wishing you a happy and healthy balance of patience and persistence. We can learn something from my little buddy and my little cat Stinker. When you really want something, be patient, but be persistent. All right. That's the sharing for today. And I'll leave it there and look forward to connecting with you all again tomorrow.